Welcome to the deep dive, where we take a whole stack of research and really boil it down to what you need to know.
That's the goal.
Today, we've got a clear mission, a real deep dive into the anatomy of an enduring brand. We're going way beyond just logos and ads here.
Definitely. We're looking at the whole system, the strategy, how you execute it, and crucially, how you measure if it's even working.
Right, especially now in the digital age. Building something that actually lasts, it's tough.
It really is. And it's critical because fundamentally, a successful brand is about trust. It's so much more than just the visuals.
So first impressions, they matter a lot.
You only get one, as they say. And our sources are clear. While the visuals are important, your website, colors, logo, all the real foundation, it's the non-visual stuff.
Like the company's actual mission, its core values.
Exactly. That's the bedrock.
Okay, let's make that concrete. The research pointed to Starbucks, huge loyalty there, but why?
Well, it wasn't just about the coffee, was it? They really invested in their people, health benefits, help with education.
So the internal values created an external perception.
Precisely. Howard Schultz, the former CEO, perfectly. He said something like, if people believe they share values with a company, they will be loyal to the brand.
That makes sense. You're not just buying coffee. You feel good about who you're buying from, their whole ethos.
Right. And that deep commitment, that's what really sets brands apart. It's the differentiator.
Like Patagonia, they don't just say they care about the environment.
No way. They put an activism button right there on their homepage. Prime real estate. They're basically inviting you to join their mission.
That's pretty direct.
It is. They're essentially monetizing their conscience. Sure, maybe it puts off a few people who don't care about that stuff.
That's for the ones who do.
It creates this almost unbreakable loyalty. It's them doing their values, not just talking about them. And that right there is differentiation in action.
Okay, so that unique identity provides the emotional connection. But what about the structure underneath it all? How do we actually define brand?
Good question. So at its core, a brand is the perception people have. It's the overall feeling, the mental picture they get when they think of your product, your service, your organization. It's conveyed through the identity, sure, but it's bigger than that.
It's that emotional and mental view.
Exactly. But if you really boil it down, the secret sauce, like we said, is differentiation. All our sources hammer this home.
Is what makes you recognizable, memorable,
and desired, hopefully more than the competition. If you can figure out what makes you unique and then deliver on that consistently, you build fame. Real, lasting fame.
But, in the digital world, brands can pop up incredibly fast. Famous overnight.
But they can disappear just as quickly.
Yeah.
That's the flip side. So enduring success, it needs that long-term fame, definitely, but also flexibility. You have to adapt.
Like the Blockbuster example. Famous, sure, but flexible, not so much.
Exactly. Digital disruption came along, they couldn't pivot, and poof, gone. The brands that last, the ones we looked at, they manage both fame and flexibility.
Let's look at some examples. The tech giants, like Apple, how did they get so dominant?
Well, think about it. Simple, instantly recognizable logos, right? And then this constant, consistent marketing that promises something aspirational. Excellence.
Okay. And then there's Disney. Totally different feel.
Masterclass in selling something intangible. They protect that space of imagination fiercely. Their unique promise is fulfilling dreams, creating magic. Nobody else can really touch that.
And Toyota. Not exactly magical.
No. Their differentiation is built on decades of reliability. Solid engineering. They use their assets really efficiently, but they also looked ahead. Think about the Prius. They were early movers in hybrids.
And their loyal customers trusted them enough to go along with that big shift.
Exactly. Because the core promise, dependable, forward-thinking, was still there.
What about Nike and Adidas? Their rivalry is almost as famous as their shoes.
It really is. That competition itself keeps them top of mind globally. Both have those instantly known logos, consistent quality, big-name athletes as ambassadors. They're always relevant, even while they're fighting each other.
Okay, so once you've nailed down that strong, differentiated identity, what's next?
Strategy, right.
Right. Section 2, strategy. And here's a really common mistake we need to clear up. The brand itself, that's the perception, the intangible feeling. The brand strategy is the actual plan.
The long-term plan for developing and supporting that perception.
Precisely. It's the roadmap.
And for online companies, especially ones without a physical shop, having this strategy is super important.
Absolutely crucial. The starting point, according to the research. A brand style guide.
This is like the rule book for how the brand looks and sounds.
Pretty much. It's the constitution for your external face. It's what stops you from looking and sounding generic.
And that guide needs to be built around who you're actually talking to, the buyer persona. Yes, you absolutely have to create this detailed profile of your ideal customer. Get inside their head, understand their motivations, how they buy things.
Okay, so we start with the basics. Demographics, age, income, maybe marital status.
Yeah, those are baseline. But the sources really emphasize job level and seniority. This is huge.
Why is that so critical?
Well, think about it. A CTO has totally different problems and ways of making decisions than, say, a junior manager. Even for B2C, a stay-at-home parent versus a recent grad in sales. Very different needs and perspectives. You need that level of detail.
Right, that makes sense. So demographics and job level are the foundation. But then you need more, don't you, to really get the strategy right?
Oh, yeah. Now we get into the actionable stuff. You need to know their typical day. What do they actually do all day?
So if my ideal customer is stuck in back-to-back meetings,
then sending them a 50-page ebook is probably a waste of time. Maybe they need a quick video summary instead.
Yay. Got it. What else?
Their objections. What makes them nervous about buying from you specifically? Is it the price? Is it too complicated to set up? What are their fears?
And their pain points. This sounds key.
It is. What problems are they desperately trying to solve right now? Your brand needs to be the solution to those specific pains.
Okay, typical day, objections, pain points, anything else?
Yes. Crucially, their information sources. Where do they go looking for answers? Which websites or articles do they trust? Which social media platforms do they actually use, and how do they use them?
Because you need to be where they are, speaking their language.
Exactly. Your whole content plan has to hit their pain points using the channels they already trust.
And the research mentioned something about honesty here too, right? Avoid hype.
Absolutely. Don't make crazy claims that just make people skeptical. Your strategy has to include equipping your sales and support teams with solid, verifiable info to ease those anxieties. Yeah. Address the real need, not some vague promise.
Okay. Strategy nailed down. Buyer persona clear. Now we execute. Section 3.
Right. Execution. Building the brand day to day. The research identifies 6 essential pillars, and they all need one thing.
Consistency.
You got it. Consistency binds it all together.
Pillar number 1.
Website design. Needs to be easy to use, look professional, work fast. And the little things matter. Font. Colors, they need to be the same everywhere on the site. No jarring changes.
Okay. Number 2.
The logo. Probably the most memorable bit. You see that Nike swoosh or the McDonald's arches?
Instant connection. You know what you're getting.
Exactly. Automatic link. Number 3. Colors. Like Facebook blue or Coke red. You see the color. You know the brand, even without the name.
4. Tone and voice. This is the personality, right? Professional, funny, formal.
Yeah, and it has to match the company's mission. Now, the voice might shift slightly, maybe a bit more casual on Twitter, more formal in a business email.
But the core message stays the same.
Always.
Yeah.
Unified. Number 5 is images. Your visual identity. Any photos or graphics you use need a plan. They have to fit your tone, your colors, your logo.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
A mismatch there feels off, untrustworthy.
Totally breaks the spell. And that brings us to number 6, the big one. Brand consistency.
This is about making sure everything looks and feels the same everywhere.
Everywhere. Website, blog, email, social media, ads. The audience has to have the same experience no matter where they encounter you. If it's disjointed, that differentiation you work so hard for just erodes fast.
Makes sense. So, with those pillars in place, how do we put the brand out there? Section 4, bringing it to life, finding the voice.
Right. The main tool here is content. Your blogs, videos, ebooks, case studies. This is how you show what you know.
It's not just selling, it's offering real value, advice, solutions.
Exactly. Building trust before you ask for the sale. And you have to realize something fundamental about modern marketing.
What's that?
Your online brand is the company now. Every single interaction, sales team, marketing posts, customer service chat, it all reflects on the brand.
And even what you don't say speaks volumes.
Sometimes louder than what you do say.
And social media, it's not just broadcasting anymore, is it?
Not at all. It's a two-way street. That's the big shift. You have to engage. Answer comments, respond to questions, solve problems publicly. That's how you build real relationships and credibility.
You can't just ignore the conversation happening around you.
Nope. You can't control it, but you absolutely have to participate. Strategically, though.
Meaning you don't have to be on every single platform.
Please don't try. You'll spread yourself too thin. Focus. Pick the platforms where your buyer persona actually spends their time. Go deep there.
Okay, let's quickly break down the main ones the sources mentioned. Facebook.
Still massive. Great for building communities, sharing visuals like photos and videos, and driving traffic with links.
Twitter.
Real time. Very informal, short, and punchy. You can use humor effectively there, maybe even go viral if you time it right.
LinkedIn.
Essential for B2B, no question. Great for networking, but also for positioning executives as thought leaders. If you're selling to decision makers, you need to be there. All about the visuals. Encourages creativity. User-generated content is big there. Traffic usually comes via the link in the bio.
And YouTube. Seems unique.
It is. Video lets you do so much interviews, product demos, behind-the-scenes stuff, even short films. It can really elevate the brand and show personality in a way text just can't.
So pick your platforms, tailor your content, and lock down that brand voice.
Yeah, the final check. How do you want people to perceive you? That voice needs to be consistent across the chosen platforms, flexible enough for different content types, but always checked against what your buyer persona expects and responds to.
Are we too formal, too jokey, getting that balance right?
That balance determines if you connect or if you just sound weird.
Okay, final section. Section 5, monitoring and measuring. This feels crucial.
It is, because the second you put anything out there, people start talking, not just on your channels, but everywhere. Blogs, forums, review sites.
Some good, some bad.
And once it's online, it's pretty much permanent. If you're not listening, you're flying blind. All that effort building the brand could be wasted.
So we need metrics, specific things to track?
Yes. The sources list 8 key ones. We can kind of group them into, say, 3 buckets: engagement, conversion, and financial health.
Okay, let's start with engagement. What are we measuring?
Things like which blog posts get the most comments, shares, clicks. What are people actually saying about you on social media? Any specific questions popping up? Which emails get forwarded or replied to the most? That tells you what's resonating.
Right, seeing what people interact with. Next bucket, conversion, turning interest into action.
Exactly. Here, we track link click-through rates, CTRs across all your platforms, who's clicking what and where. We also need to see which types of social media content actually lead to sales down the line and how effectively.
Not just likes and shares, but actual revenue potential.
Precisely. And the last 2 metrics fall into financial health.
Like landing page conversions.
Yep. Which pages are getting people to buy or sign up, or whatever your goal is, and which ones bring in the most profit per sale.
Yeah.
Also, tracking your social media growth rate. How fast are you gaining relevant followers? Is your fame actually expanding?
Okay, lots to track.
Yeah.
But the ultimate measure, it's got to be financial, right?
Absolutely. ROI, return on investment. This is the bottom line. This is how you prove to the C-suite or just to yourself that all this brand building isn't just fluff. It's actually driving the business.
And the formula is pretty straightforward.
Surprisingly simple, yeah. ROI equals revenue minus investment, divided by investment.
So, using the example from the source, invest 500, get 1,500 back in revenue.
Profit is 1,000. Divide that by the 500 investment.
Which means 200% ROI. Clear value.
Crystal clear. But to get those numbers accurately, you need the right tools.
What did the sources recommend?
HubSpot Analytics is great for overall marketing performance. Google Analytics, obviously, for deep dives into website traffic and user behavior. HubSpot also has a social inbox tool, which is handy for catching all your brand mentions in one place.
So you can actually respond to them.
Right. And then for seeing what competitors are doing, especially around keywords, tools like SEMrush or Moz Keyword Explorer are really necessary.
Got it. Tools are key. What else for long-term brand health? Crisis management.
Oh, absolutely critical. You need a plan before anything goes wrong. Who handles what? IT deals with website errors, customer service handles complaints, marketing handles public statements. Gotta be clear.
And speed matters online. A lot.
Hugely. The longer something negative sits out there unanswered or unaddressed, the worse the damage gets and the harder it is to fix. You need to be constantly listening, use customer feedback, run surveys, find the problems before they explode.
Proactive diligence. Seems to be the theme.
It really is. So if we pull it all together, building a brand today is way bigger than just your marketing team. Every single online interaction counts, and it's all stored forever, basically.
So successful brand management isn't just about creating something cool. It's about being constantly active, using the data.
Exactly. Listening to customers, looking at those metrics from everywhere, website, social, even call center logs, and then using that information to constantly tweak and improve your strategy.
Because things change so fast online, and one mistake can really hurt your reputation permanently.
Right, which leads to maybe the most provocative thought here. The biggest challenge isn't really creating that initial cool brand identity. Anyone can come up with a logo and a mission statement.
Okay. So what is the biggest challenge then?
It's mastering the ongoing process. The constant monitoring, the analyzing, the reacting instantly and correctly to what people are actually saying about you out there in the wild. It's about being smart and careful enough to keep protecting and growing that brand ROI day in, day out. That's the real work.